The blizzard apocalypse arrived, and the temperature dropped to -60 degrees. But I was playing games and eating hot pot. My neighbor, who previously robbed my supplies, was now shivering from cold and hunger, frantically asking in the group chat if my supermarket was open. Instead, I took a video and sent it to the homeowners group. Eating hot pot in the snow is so refreshing. I was reborn, just in time to see my neighbor, Wang Dezhuang, come to buy a Coke.
Boss, a bottle of Coke.
I suppressed my hatred and handed him a Coke, not wanting to say another word.
Thanks, boss. It's getting colder lately, make sure you stay warm.
I watched his retreating figure and sneered inwardly. In my past life, it was this very Wang Dezhuang who, under the guise of mutual aid, was the first to lead the charge in prying open my supermarket door, looting all the supplies I had stockpiled. I glanced at the time, February 28th, 4 days until the blizzard apocalypse. The weather forecast was glaring, predicting continuous rain and snow, signaling something abnormal. In the last life, everyone thought it was just a normal cold spell, but the low temperatures persisted, the blizzards never stopped, and the temperature finally dropped to -80 degrees. In this life, I must act quickly. When I got home that evening, Mao Buffon's voice drifted over.
My dearest, come try the dishes I made myself, they're all your favorites.
My eyes glanced at the trash can, where several fancy takeout boxes were still steaming. In 7 years, he didn't even know where the kitchen was, and now he could cook? At the dinner table, Mao Buffon diligently served me food and suddenly said,
Xiao Bai, let's get married.
A proposal with no flowers, no ring, not even a single word of love. In my last life, my supermarket was looted, and I crawled home covered in injuries. But he complained I didn't bring back supplies, and with his arm around my cousin Lu Yunyan, he kicked me out. In this life, he's actually proposing to me on the eve of the apocalypse. Alarm bells rang in my head, but I smiled as I spoke, okay. I wanted to see just what kind of trick he was planning. I feigned a sweet tone and asked, if we get married, I'll buy you a car, but I'm just a little short on money. Mao Buffon's eyes lit up.
How much are you short?
500,000. His face instantly darkened, but I continued my act. My mom passed away early and left me a large sum of money that I never dared to touch. But for our wedding, I must buy a Maserati, so we can get married in style. After a long pause, he squeezed out an okay. Soon, my phone chimed. A bank notification popped up, a deposit of 500,000 yuan. Now, with my previous savings, I had over 1 million. The apocalypse was coming, and this money was enough for me to stock up a whole house full of supplies and live comfortably through the winter. 3 days left in the countdown to the blizzard apocalypse. I arrived at the supermarket early in the morning. Behind the closed sign was a door leading to the basement. I remember my mom saying when I was little, before refrigerators, this place was a natural ice cellar, perfect for storing goods. Pushing open the wooden door, a gust of cold air hit me. I swept my flashlight around. It was a full 240 square meters. For the past few days, I had closed the supermarket under the pretext of renovations. I hired a construction company and had the workers wrap the inside and outside of the supermarket, as well as the basement, with the best soundproofing cotton and insulation layers. I specifically instructed them that the basement's ventilation pipe needed to be greatly extended. When the extreme cold apocalypse arrives and snow blocks the doors, all my air will depend on it. As for the doors and windows, I requested they all be reinforced, with the glass replaced with high-grade bulletproof material. In my past life, the image of those animals breaking in is something I'll never forget. The supermarket's main door had to be the highest grade security door, complete with its own high-tech, 360-degree, solar-powered cameras. I wanted to see who would dare to target my supermarket this time. Money really works wonders. 5 top-tier construction workers managed to compress a 3-day job into just 1. The speed was incredible. That night, not wanting to go back and see Mao Buffon, I decided to spend the night on the folding bed in the store. I took stock of the existing supplies in the supermarket: instant noodles, snacks, daily necessities, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, toilet paper. The basics were all there. In previous years, February would have already warmed up, but this year's damn weather had the temperature abnormally dropping to -5 degrees. However, my supermarket and basement were completely renovated, just waiting for the supplies to arrive. Before bed, Mao Buffon's WeChat messages were blowing up my phone, repeatedly asking why I wasn't home, and saying that my cousin Liu Ruyan was visiting Yongcheng and would be staying with us. Heh, I had no energy to deal with her. 2 days left in the countdown to the snow apocalypse. As soon as I woke up, I drove the supermarket's usual delivery truck straight to the largest wholesale market. I ordered 10 of the thickest down comforters, a 2-meter wide bed, and 2 large double-door refrigerators, all to be placed in the underground safe house. Next, I bought 200 kilograms of diesel and 10 diesel generators. This stuff was hard currency. Electricity was essential for a basic quality of life. Additionally, I purchased 500 solid alcohol cubes, 500 lighters, and 50 boxes of heat packs. The more, the better. Oh, and 600 pounds of cat litter. This wasn't for a cat. In the extreme cold, even using the toilet would be a problem. For food, I bought hundreds of pounds of potatoes, cabbage, and various other vegetables that store well. I also bought 50 pounds of cured sausage and bacon, and pre-ordered 300 dumplings. To avoid attracting attention, I deliberately went to several different places to make my purchases. However, just as I was picking out the last few items, a familiar figure appeared, my dear cousin, Liu Ruyan. Her shopping cart was stuffed with rice, flour, mineral water, and she was clutching a large bundle of toilet paper. My heart skipped a beat. Why was she also stockpiling goods? Could she have been reborn too? Ruyan, what are you doing at the supermarket? Her eyes darted around, a little flustered.
Cousin, I came to Yangcheng to visit. I felt bad staying at your place, so I wanted to buy some things.
This was too abnormal. I didn't press further, just silently sped up my shopping. After returning to the supermarket and organizing all the supplies, I was completely exhausted. But as I lay on the 2-meter wide bed in the basement, looking at the piles of supplies surrounding me, I felt it was all worth it. Just as I was about to rest, my phone buzzed with messages from Mao Buffon, asking why I wasn't home to register our marriage. I replied, I'm out buying your Maserati. March 3rd, 1 day left in the countdown. I woke with a start, realizing my thick clothes were still at home. I had to go back and pack. So, I opened the smart lock security camera. On the screen, Mao Buffon and Liu Ruyan were embracing each other. Liu Ruyan's voice came through.
Darling, hurry up and register the marriage with my cousin. Once the apocalypse hits and she dies, the insurance payout will all be yours.
Okay, I'll do it as soon as possible.
Mao Buffon replied. I turned off the monitor, my fists clenched. I never thought they had been plotting together, and they wanted to harm me. I immediately messaged Mao Buffon. Waiting for you at the Civil Affairs Bureau. After getting the certificate, I deliberately hugged Mao Buffon at the entrance, pretending to be happy. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Liu Ruyan's face turn green with anger. Soon after, they made an excuse to leave. I guessed they were heading to the insurance company. I quickly returned home, packed my clothes and necessities. However, I didn't leave immediately. Instead, I installed several hidden pinhole cameras before going. I wanted to see what they could possibly pull off in the extreme cold. On the first day of the deep freeze, the temperature dropped to -10 degrees. I quickly checked the doors and ventilation shaft. Everything was normal. The basement temperature was stable at around 18 degrees. I then blocked Mao Buffon. A moment later, my phone showed dozens of missed calls from unknown numbers. I casually opened the feed from the hidden cameras at home. On the screen, Liu Ruyan and Mao Buffon were shivering violently, huddled together for warmth. How disgusting. I turned off the monitor. If the extreme cold apocalypse really only lasted 3 months as Liu Ruyan said, then my stockpiled supplies were enough for me to live comfortably through it, and even longer. On the 7th day of the extreme cold apocalypse, the temperature plummeted to -30 degrees. I was cozily warming myself by a small heater. I opened the home security feed. On screen, Ruyan and Mao Buffon were frantically searching for something. Mao Buffon grew impatient and made a call. At the same time, my phone rang. On the other end, his voice was trembling with cold. Where are you? Come back quickly. The remote control at home is missing. Hurry back and buy one. The doors on the 18th floor had long been tampered with by me, unable to withstand the cold. Meanwhile, I was casually playing with the air conditioner remote. I sent him a photo. You mean this remote? 100,000 for it, no money, no deal. Mao Bufan immediately flew into a rage. A few days later, with the temperature at -40, he gave in and begged me to sell it. I told him to transfer the money first. He was trembling but still transferred 100,000. I sold him the remote, and he raged, "Why are there no batteries?" I replied, "You didn't ask. Batteries are 10,000 each." I easily made 120,000 off that scumbag. I video called them to show them I was eating hot pot. They were drooling, begging me to let them in. I said one word, "Scram," and hung up. I didn't expect him to secretly take a photo and post it in the community group. The group chat instantly erupted with curses. I directly posted the hot pot video in the group with the caption, "Eating hot pot in the snow feels so good." I let them curse. I put on headphones and went to sleep. Suddenly, a loud banging sound came from the supermarket entrance. A dense crowd was packed outside, banging on it like madmen. Dazhuang yelled,
Boss, open up. Sell us some food. We're starving to death.
I said coldly, "I have nothing to sell, get lost." Soon, they came back, this time with weapons. They smashed for a long time, but the door didn't even have a scratch, just a bit of paint chipped off. Finally, they left. Back in the basement, I turned on the monitor, wanting to see the miserable state of the couple upstairs. They were wrapped in several layers of torn quilts, shivering in a corner. The floor was littered with empty snack wrappers. Were they robbed? Serves them right. I saw Lu Ruyan trembling as she picked up a moldy steamed bun. Just as she was about to put it in her mouth, Mao Bufan snatched it away. The two of them completely turned on each other over a moldy bun and started fighting. The blizzard had been falling for a month. As I was scrolling through my phone, I felt that the air in the basement wasn't right. Could the neighbors be up to something again, targeting my ventilation shaft? I carefully pushed open the security door. A blast of icy air poured in. As I was nervously staring out, I suddenly heard a faint meow. In a snow-filled hole in the corner was a shabby nest. A small, furry ball was curled up inside. My heart softened. I cleared the snow and revealed a frozen kitten, skinny as a rail. I quickly and carefully cupped it in my hands. Back in the warm basement, the kitten slowly revived. Seeing it eat like a starving ghost, I felt a lump in my throat. In this apocalypse, it's hard enough for humans to survive, let alone a cat. You can stay with me from now on. I'll give you a name. How about Little Tiger? The kitten meowed softly. A few days later, the power came back on. I cooked a bowl of hot noodles. As I ate, I turned on the monitor. The 18th floor had long since become an ice cave. The monitor was empty. Lu Ruyan and Mao Bufan must have frozen into popsicles. I opened the homeowners group chat. Someone said they saw a couple go out to find food and had the bad idea to try and rob them, but they were thrown out of the house by a strong man and froze to death. I heard they were biting each other before they died. The man pushed the woman down the stairs to steal the last piece of moldy bread, but he broke his own leg. I was ecstatic. In my last life, they conspired to harm me. In this life, they killed each other. It was truly heaven's will. Just as I was about to close the group chat, a new message popped up. Did you hear? The group that was banging on the door before, they're all dead. They teamed up to rob the neighboring community but ran into a more ruthless group and were completely wiped out. Serves them right. I looked at the message, a grin spreading across my face. This group of people, they were the ones who led the charge to rob me clean in my last life. In this life, they died even earlier than I did. It was truly a case of evil begetting evil. In the 3rd month, the blizzard stopped. In the 4th month, the temperature began to rise. In the 5th month, the extreme cold apocalypse was over. My supermarket could open for business again. Only, I looked down at my feet. There was a little shadow following me, Little Tiger. The film has come to an end. Thank you all for watching the entire video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment to let everyone know.